Hello, and welcome to the PhoneArena.com review of the CDMA BlackBerry Pearl. The CDMA Pearl, known as the 8130 or the Pearl 2, also features EBDO 3G connectivity, something lacking on the original Pearl. The device is basically the same size, and as you can see, it fits in the hand very nicely. Along the left side of the phone, you'll find a 3.5mm headphone jack, a mini USB charging and data port, the micro SD slot, as well as a multifunction button. On the right side is the volume rocker and a second multifunction button. On the back, we simply find the 2-megapixel camera with LED flash. The phone itself has a large display with a 240 by 260 resolution. The keypad is the Sure type, originated on the original Pearl. It has generally 2 letters per key, but is laid out in a QWERTY style. Text input is done by predictive text, and more often than not, the Pearl knows what you're trying to type. However, we found the keypad to be fairly small, and typing out messages was cumbersome. Even after a few weeks of use, we much prefer a standard QWERTY keypad or just a 12-key T9 dial pad. Also present is the trackball. Expect to see these on all BlackBerries in the future, and we have seen them in the past on phones like the Curve and the 8830. There's nothing really new in the operating system on the Pearl 8130. There are several different layouts the user can choose from. In the one we currently have, there's a row of icons on the standby screen running along the left-hand side. However, you can have them run along the bottom as well, or both. Hitting the BlackBerry button will take the user to the full menu, where all the applications will be listed. This layout is very similar to the Palm OS, in that the user can rearrange these icons and drag and drop them into different folders. We do think it's very intimidating for a new user to pick up, however. A lot of these options could be grouped together. For instance, there's an icon for the camera and an icon for the camcorder, instead of just one. Once the user becomes familiar with the BlackBerry operating system, there are tons of keyboard shortcuts that they can use to operate more efficiently, but it definitely has a very steep learning curve. The main draw to a phone like a BlackBerry is going to be the PDA functionality. On board, you'll find everything that you'll need, such as calendar, address book, and tasks. The calendar is simple and easy to use, pretty much as you'd expect. There's nothing groundbreaking here, but in a lot of ways that's good. It's very easy to enter a contact or a calendar appointment, and the user has no learning curve for items such as that. If we go to our address book or contacts, you can see that users are sorted by name. You can search by both first or last name, and it does find partial matches. Also, for the main screen, if you start typing in a name, we'll try Michael. You can see that contact match is turned on, and it starts to find them. We had no complaints about the overall functionality of the PDA. It did absolutely everything we wanted it to do, and we had no problems with it. Also included are some standard tools, such as a calculator and a memo pad, as well as alarm clocks. One nice feature is the BlackBerry Maps. This program is very similar to Google Maps. It's a nice free program, and when the GPS is not locked down, as it is on the Verizon version, it'll use the integrated GPS to give you turn-by-turn directions. It doesn't have voice prompts, and therefore a program like VZ Navigator or Sprint Navigation is more full-featured. But in a pinch, it's nice to have something free and cheap and easy to use. We also downloaded Google Maps for the phone, which is the same as you'd find on pretty much any other device, functional as always. Since this is the Verizon version, we had to use the VZ Navigator service to get GPS. On the Sprint and Alltel versions, the GPS is not locked, and therefore the user can use Google Maps or BlackBerry Maps for turn-by-turn GPS direction. The VZ Navigator service is excellent. However, we'd love to have the option to not pay for GPS service when the phone has it included. Like most BlackBerrys before it, the 8130 has a browser optimized for HTML viewing. The Verizon homepage is very simple, and you have a few quick links. If we open up the contacts menu, we can go to any address. Here we'll go to our bookmarks and go to Phone Arena. As you can see, the page takes a little bit of time to load. Similar to Opera Mini, the pages all run through BlackBerry servers and get optimized for the device. This makes the end result much easier to use. However, it makes web browsing a bit frustrating, and it's not nearly as quick as Opera Mini's rendering. One thing that we do like, in some ways, is that the on-screen mouse moves with the trackball in any direction. However, whenever the page actually loads, we'll see that scrolling through large pages can be quite cumbersome. Now that the page is finally loaded, we can check out scrolling. While it works well and is responsive, for a large page such as Phone Arena, it takes a long time to scroll through. You can also see things like this. Under the editor's pick, we should find different links to phones. However, there's a lot of empty space, over a full page worth. Whereas on other HTML browsers for cellular phones, these pictures would be put together. Once we finally get to content, it is optimized for the phone and therefore much easier to read. However, if the user is trying to look something up, as you can see, it's not an easy process. And most users are probably going to wait till they get back to their desktop. We're on a high-speed 3G EVDO connection here, and reception in this area is quite good. We're kind of surprised at how long this takes compared to other browsers, and it makes the overall browsing experience less than ideal. The Pearl was the first BlackBerry to be heavily consumer-oriented, and the 8130 is no different. As well as the 2 megapixel camera, BlackBerry's included a very nice media suite, powered by Roxio. In one place, the user can find their music, their videos, their ringtones, and their pictures, as well as their voice notes. Everything is organized very nicely. If we go to music, we can view all songs or sort by artist, album, genre, or playlists. We can sample the songs, and we can also shuffle. If we choose all songs here, we can see it's listed with the song name as well as the artist just below. The media player is pretty nice. It features album art, as you can see, as well as song information. Music and videos are very loud, played through the speaker found on the back. There are not a whole lot of options as far as the player goes, but the user can shuffle songs as well as create playlists. The video player is basically the same thing. Here we'll take a look at the sample video from BlackBerry. The contacts menu will bring up the meager options, including the full screen mode. As you can see, it keeps it in the portrait orientation instead of switching it to landscape. This is a minor gripe, however, and overall we are very pleased with the media portion of the Pearl 8130. Another pleasant surprise was the camera. Pictures turned out very vivid, and for the most part had great detail. We are kind of surprised to find this, because especially as a smartphone, cameras usually get pushed back towards an ancillary feature. In the end, we were left with very mixed feelings on the BlackBerry Pearl 8130. While it has a lot of great features, it's a nice small smartphone, fits well into the pocket and in hand, offers a plethora of functionality, and is very media oriented. Important things such as the trackball and SureType keypad we just couldn't get used to. However, these seem to be very love it or hate it type features, and we'd strongly recommend checking it out for yourself. If they don't bother you, the BlackBerry Pearl 8130 is a wonderful phone. However, for heavy emailers and people with bigger fingers, the phone may not be the right choice for you.